Morning, everyone. How is everybody doing? So, we all are a bunch of social justice warriors. Yeah, I am included because as I create this video, I am taking the time to do the same dang thing that everyone else is doing. We're having circular arguments these days, and it's because we know that identity politics and our emotions are what actually control us instead of actual logic and actual reason. So, we sit there and we look at people and we say that there's no compassion being shown towards people within our own country, with our own world, based on our actions that we have. You can still be compassionate and have to follow policy. These circular arguments continuously happen because we don't want to accept the choices that we have, and I'm guilty of that as well. You decide to drink and drive. I didn't, but if you do, you decide to drink and drive, you get pulled over, you get a DUI, you lose your license. Should you honestly go to the judge and ask for some leniency? No. You chose to drink and drive. You made that bad choice. So we want to sit here and say that the people that are struggling in this world today because of actions of our leaders are it's not being compassionate, it's not being understanding of those people. Those people don't have to go to work if they're not getting paid. Just because they're not getting paid doesn't mean that they won't, though. These people have a better character than most of us, and I wonder what they would actually think if they're being used as pawns, which they are. The military is too. Um, so, but no matter what, we have problems all around our country, and we don't want to address those problems. We just want to sit there and put a band-aid over it and say we're doing really well. So a circular argument such as compassion can be thrown back at you whenever you sit there and you say, we're not being compassionate to those people that are going without pay, but what about those people that lost loved ones because of an action of someone that shouldn't be here? So then we like to sit there and point and say, but that person lost their husband, their wife, their son, their daughter because of an action of someone else, a choice that that person may not ever have to live with because they decided to kill somebody. And because they're in certain states within our country, they are allowed to either be released or let go. So that's why we will use that argument. So you're going to sit there and say that we're not being compassionate. You're not, being right towards our own people, but you're not being right towards other people that are our own people. So where do we draw the line? So this is why it keeps going into a circular argument. You say lack of compassion, the other side says lack of compassion. So it's pointless. And this all boils down to choice. I chose the job that I'm currently living in and or working at, and there's some ups and downs, and that's what it is. But I'm going to have to live with those choices, or it ends with one or two things happening. I quit, or I get fired, or I do well and I get promoted. And that's more than one or two things, but it's understandable. Then we have states in our country that decide that they want to sit there and allow a woman to abort their child all the way up to the day of birth. No matter if you want to believe the science or not, that comes back to choice. Okay? If the woman is raped, that was a choice of the rapee, the raper, excuse me, to rape that woman. So what should happen? In the past, I believe that that woman should have the right to terminate that baby early on so that she can heal and do things right. But then my heart changed because maybe, just maybe, terminating that kid that had no choice in the matter would be a bad decision. So we go back to choice. But then we have women and men that sit there and they sleep together and they just go willy-nilly into sexual relations, and then they don't want to live with the choice and the consequence of doing that. It would break my heart if I had to live with a child of mine being aborted. It would break my heart. I don't care about the science. I don't care about what anybody else says. But the thing is, simply enough, it's all about choice. So these circular arguments don't really matter to me because anybody can turn it back on the other person. It's evident in the politics today. It's what it is. So when one side actually caves and decides to give in and make a concession, and then the other side decides to stand tall, you find out that it's all about future races and future command and control of the government. Choice. If he doesn't do this one thing, or if she doesn't do this another thing, they won't have the power coming in a few years down the road when the next elections or the next judgments come. But where's our credibility? Again, it comes back to choice. We sit there and we'll tear down somebody, make a lie, and that's evident in the news today. And you can see the one-sidedness of the news and the social justice and identity politics being just blasted everywhere. So, whenever you sit there, think about that. We chose where we're at. We should close off our borders. We should make it a challenge for someone to get into this country. Make it so that, people in this country are no longer suffering and no longer, having issues. But we have vets on the streets. We have college students that are homeless. But keep in mind, again, there was some choice that got them to that point. And I could have to eat with my words down the road and stick my foot in my mouth if I become homeless myself. But I made the choice to get there. I made the choice. And we need to learn how to live with them or we will never be able to move forward. So, compassion. Oh, you're not taking care of our country. You're not taking care of the world. It just keeps on going around. But I work in a job right now and I can see that there's certain things that are happening, and then I can hear people that were born here in this country complaining about the amount of money that they are earning. Um, I have no business degree. I have no economics degree. I just see that it's logical that those people have the right to complain because there's people there that are doing the job for way less. Same job. They're doing it for way less, though. So the company then can negotiate way less payments for everyone else. Thus, because they can negotiate way less payments for someone that may not actually be a citizen of the country, they can undercut the people that actually live here and they may not be able to survive themselves. The same companies are the ones that sit there and they don't provide good health insurance. And it's fully in part, no, fully, not in part, fully the responsibility goes on the administrations in the past. If you give out free handouts and you subsidize everything, you give incentives to people, not only in our country, but other countries that come here and take advantage of those free handouts. I've taken free handouts. Our family has used programs that allowed us to use it because of our actual income and our wages, and we got off them. We may go back on them, but we make choices to get there back and forth. But I work. And that's a justification that makes me feel good inside because I work. But it's not right. So, yes, we could get other people to take care of our problems. We could allow things just to get worse. But I want to know if those people that know how to make choices are going to be held responsible for the choices they make if they defend themselves in a righteous way. Are they compassionate then? Is the person that decides to take out the intruder that enters their home with a shotgun to the face, are they being compassionate? Or should they let that person take advantage of them and take advantage of their family? Should that person then sit there and go, oh, I should just let you have everything? Yes, as Christians, we should turn our other cheek, but we're not called to be stupid. um, And there's people out there that would just take advantage of your stupidity because you're willing to allow people to step over you. So, this social justice warrior right here is trying to appeal to your identity politics because I've been told way too much in the last 5 years that I can't speak because of the way I look and the way that my genetics are. I have been told way too many times that the color of my skin got me to where I am. No, it's my choices. And my choices make me go on a roller coaster that I wish I couldn't do. But that little anxiety that you feel is that same anxiety that someone could feel when they have to make a choice whether or not to live with the consequences of their actions. So, and by speaking from experience in the past, I have completely collapsed because of the anxiety I felt in my body at moments. Why did I collapse? Because I was handed things. I had people that I ran to instead of actually taking the issue at hand and actually dealing with the consequences. So at the age of 32, I'm learning how to deal with consequences, learning how to prevent the anxiety from taking over my body, and learning how to be the person and the man that I'm supposed to be. How to be that toxic man that you will cause others to benefit from. Masculinity needs to come back. Within that masculinity, you can be logically and consistently compassionate towards people that need it. So, I appreciate you guys coming by. As always, I ask you guys to do things in moderation. If I can get a beer review out in the next hour, I will. It doesn't look like it. Computer's updating. Thus, that's why I'm using my phone to sit here and do this live video. This is not meant to offend anybody. Please comment below what you think. And based on comments and responses that I give, we'll do another video and we'll keep going. The key is to sit there and to keep the communication alive. Let me understand if I offended you. And if I did, I'll explain why it's okay to do so. Because it's okay for you to offend me. And I welcome it because guess what? Through that we can learn and we can understand people better. That's what it is. See you guys later.